The fastest way to become a millionaire. Today, I'm going to tell you the fastest way. No other way compares to this other than hitting the lottery, which most people throw away all that money anyways. The fastest way to become a millionaire. I'm going to tell you this today. The middle and lower class do not use this. And they're going to guide you to not go this route because they didn't do it. What the middle and lower class does is they put away a little bit of money for 30 to 40 years, and then they save up maybe $1 million or $2 million, if they're lucky, $2 million. And then they never spend it because they're constantly scared about how to bring in money. And in today, what I'm going to tell you is how to quickly become a millionaire, because you need to quickly become a millionaire. Inflation's going rampant, prices are rising. You need more money. You need to be making more money. So today I'm going to give you a piece of advice that you really need to take, because if you don't, you're not going to become rich. To become a millionaire, the fastest way possible is to get ownership in something. Wealth is ownership. You own real estate, you own a business, you have ownership in something, and that something has value, and that value continues to increase. You will become wealthy. So I'm going to go through 3 types of ownerships that you need to be focusing in your life to make yourself the richest you possibly can as fast as you can. These are in order, okay? Number 1 is owning a business, and this is over 50% ownership in a business that you work in, okay? You need to work in this business, and you need to grow this business, and it needs to have, I posted a video, I think a day or 2 ago, go pay attention to that video of how to make your business sellable. Can your business be sold? You can go check out that video on my page, and you'll be able to look and see what businesses are sellable. But what you want to do is you want to start a business or buy a business that can be resold down the road. Usually that has recurring revenue, the ability to scale. It can be easy for you to rationally do with your skill level, or you can learn that skill, work under somebody until you figure out how to run that business. But there's different characteristics that make a business sellable. The main thing is recurring revenue, okay? So find a business in which you can grow, start from scratch, and build equity in, so in 10 to 15 years, you can sell it off to a private equity company. I mentioned that if you can grow a business to $1 million in profit, the multiple goes up by 1 to 2 times, which is literally another $1 million for you. So this is where you can sell your business for $4 to $5 million because you own it. So, you're thinking, okay, how can I become a millionaire? Well, if you build a business to a profit of $300,000 to $400,000, well, on paper, the value of your company, you could potentially sell it for over $1 million. So therefore, you're a millionaire. Okay, so it's about having ownership in something, equity of value that makes you a millionaire. It's not having $1 million in cash in the bank. That's stupid. You should have $1 million in equity of something. Okay, that means you could sell that equity and become a millionaire the next day. Okay, so that's the most important thing. That's the fastest way to get you there, because if you can grow a business that can be sold up to $300,000 to $400,000 in profit, you're going to be able to become a millionaire as fast as possible. So that could take you the first year. You could grow a business. If you have the right business, grow that, and you become a millionaire. Okay, so that's the fastest way possible for you to get there. You're not going to get there by working a job. You're not going to be getting there by asking for a raise. You're not going to get there that way. The only way you're going to get there is by owning a business. Number 2 here is ownership in equity, second-tier equity, not the same equity as I mentioned before, second-tier equity, and stocks. So what I mean by second-tier equity is I'm an investor in businesses that I am not involved in on the day-to-day operations. So that means I'm an angel investor, or I'm a passive investor. It means a business that I know that will continue to grow up in value, but they just need my capital. I will invest in that business because they need cash, and in exchange, they'll give me equity in that business. Usually it's maybe 10%, maybe less if it's a bigger business. It could be up to 20%. They need equity because if they have equity, they can go make tons of money. So they need equity from investors. So you can invest in that. That will get you to become a millionaire faster than a little bit slower than you starting your own business, but it will, if you make the right investment and that business continues to grow and has value, you will become a millionaire very quickly by being passively invested into second-tier equity. Stocks is the third thing, okay? So I stocks and equity, I have kind of in the same thing, but this is kind of below second-tier equity is stocks. That means having stocks in companies, okay? So that means I can go buy a share of Apple stock. That means I have ownership in that business. Very small ownership, very tiny, but that Apple, if that Apple stock, if it continues to grow and that business grows and I make the right investment in that company and I choose the right one, then you can reap the rewards and become a millionaire very quickly from investing in one stock. I know a person who invested in one stock. It's a drug company, and he has only invested in that stock, and he has became over a millionaire by just choosing one company that he believes in. Now, below that, you can become a millionaire doing that, or you can become a millionaire by investing in a mutual fund or S&P 500 type index fund, which basically means that you're giving that fund money. That fund goes out and buys individual stocks, over 500 stocks, and then you're getting a average return of all the 500 stocks. Usually the S&P 500 does around a 10% annualized return over a 30-year basis. So that's going to take you a while for you to grow into $1 million, but if you continue to invest back in, you will eclipse over $1 million, okay? And the third category here, and I'm going to get some flack for not mentioning this before, stocks and equities, but I fully believe that stocks and equities are a better route to go when it comes to building wealth as quick as possible. The third thing here is real estate, okay? And I'm going to give you tiers in real estate that I believe are better than others, and one that you should really avoid. Number one is a REIT. A REIT is similar to an index fund or a mutual fund in which there's a minimum capitalized amount that you give, and that fund goes out and buys institutional investments. That means they're going out and buying massive complexes, apartment complexes. They're going out and they're buying big commercial buildings, and they are experts at it, okay? Now, I'm not saying that you're going to make money from that. I'm not I'm not a financial advisor or anything like that. I am just telling you that from the overall arcing theme, you can make really good money in a REIT, okay? You should always look into every single one before you invest, but a REIT, I like investing in those because it's professionals out there investing and going out buying properties. They're good. They do that every day. Okay, so that's why I would say a REIT before you do it yourself. Second thing is, if you can really learn it and you can, and you want to take the risk, which is very risky, I would then look into buying an apartment complex. Okay, an apartment complex has multiple doors, so you have cash flow. And if one door leaves, if one tenant leaves, you could literally probably cash flow. You want to cash flow. I think if 60 to 70% of it's occupied, you still would be able to cash flow. Okay, so this is a good investment because it is people are always going to need a place to live, and the only issue with this investment that I have is that if you've never managed an apartment complex before, then that's going to be a hard thing for you to do because you don't have that experience. Okay, so tread lightly, make sure you know what you're doing before you dive into this investment. Below that, below apartments, I would say invest in buying commercial buildings. Commercial buildings are very similar to apartment complexes. You have multiple tenants, but again, there's a whole different class of maintenance and management of that property that, if you sub it out to somebody else, I get it, but again, you need to be knowing what you're doing in that versus giving it to somebody who already knows what they're doing. The next tier here is multifamily. The reason I like multifamily is because there's multiple doors. If the person moves out, you still have other doors that are paying you rent. So multifamily is a good investment. The issue with multifamily, and this is like triplexes, duplexes, the main issue I have is you're buying that piece of property and you're hoping that it will cash flow. And if two people move out, you're screwed, you're not cash flowing. And usually these houses are not investments. These are like usually on the edge of bad neighborhoods, and you have problems with tenants, and it's the issue is you can never increase that business. It's not a business, it's an investment, okay? And the last thing that I would ask you to never invest in, and I'm gonna get hated in this in the comments, and I get it, never invest in a single family house that you're gonna rent out. That is the highest risk investment you can, maybe the highest risk out of all the ones that I've mentioned, probably the highest risk out of all the ones I mentioned, because if the one person moves out, you don't make money. One person tears up the entire unit, you have to pay money out. You have one flow of income. And when you have one flow of income, that's high risk, very high risk. The other investments I would highly recommend over buying a single family house and renting it out, okay? So the fastest way to become a millionaire, I would focus on starting a business or buying a business. The average age of a business owner is in their 50s, massive opportunity for you to buy a business. A lot of times you don't need any money down. If you own or finance the deal, find an owner who's willing to transition his business for the right price where you continue to pay him over a number of years, or her, to agree on a price. So that's the fastest way to become a millionaire. I would tread lightly around other people on social media that are telling you to buy a course from them. saying that you will make $1 million if you listen to what they say. All my content is given away for free, and I would be happy to have a phone call. If you look at the link in my channel page, you can book a call with me, or just like and subscribe, and I'll be providing high quality content to you on the daily. Thank you.